Hello everyone and welcome to another video review. I'm Rodney Reynolds and today I'm having a look at Inwin's 303 case. Now Inwin has been putting out some amazing looking cases in the last little while and this one is no different. Looks very sharp, has a tempered glass window and you can fit tons of hardware on the inside, like for example radiators up to 360 millimeters in length and long video cards. So let's have a look. Okay, so let's get on with it. First of all, just take a minute here to look at the case. I think it's gorgeous. Nice sleek lines, very elegant appearance overall. Now the case not only comes in black, it's also available in white and measures in at 500 by 215 by 480 millimeters. However, if you take the handle and the thumb screws into consideration, it's a little wider at 248 millimeters. Now this left panel is tempered glass, 3 millimeters thick, and it releases quite differently than most case side panels. You don't have any screws at the back. Rather, there's a latch here at the top, and you just push down and pull it out, and the panel comes right off like so. I'm doing this with one hand, very easy to do. Slide it in here at the bottom and then pop it in at the top. At the front top here, you have the power button. Below it is the reset button. You have Inwin here, which is lit up, along with the ports. You have 4 USB ports, 2 are USB 2 and the other 2 are USB 3, and the audio jacks. On the right side panel, there's ventilation. You can install on the inside up to 3 120mm fans or up to a 360mm radiator. In this case, you install a standard ATX power supply at the top. Here's where the motherboard's I/O shield plate gets installed. You can install a 120mm fan here or a 120mm rad or AIO, along with up to 7 ventilated expansion slots. Now just have a look on the inside. There's lots of room to work for a mid-tower case. You can fit a standard ATX motherboard up to 12 by 10.7 inches, as well as micro ATX and mini ITX form factor motherboards. They do include a large hole on the motherboard tray for the cooler's retention plate and lots of holes to route cables behind the tray. And by the way, there is around 30 millimeters of space behind the motherboard tray and the right side panel. That is excellent because you can tuck all those cables away. Now at the top, they have this kind of separate compartment here to house the power supply as well as cables, and of course you can install up to 3 120mm fans, as I mentioned earlier, or alternatively up to a 360mm radiator. You've got that option of installing a rad or AIO here at the back, a 120, and at the bottom you can install up to 3 120mm fans, but I don't believe, there's no option down here to install a rad because it would be too high. You've got the motherboard that would probably more than likely hit it. Now as for drives, you can fit up to 2 2.5-inch drives or up to 2 3.5-inch drives, and they have brackets for all of these. For the 2.5-inch drives, the brackets are here on this side. You take it off, you mount the drive on it, and then you would just put it right back. But I think the room in here is just exceptional, and part of it is due to the fact that there's no 5.25-inch drive base. Now, as you've seen, the left side panel is certainly easy to remove and install. Well, so is the right side panel, but it doesn't have a handle, rather thumb screws, which you just loosen and it comes right off. Here are the 3.5-inch brackets for installing 3.5-inch drives. You would simply just take this bracket off and then mount it to the drive and put it back on the case. Again, here are the holes for routing cables through, and as well the large hole for the cooler's retention plate. Also, this is where you would install a standard ATX power supply. Now let's get back to the drives. You can only install up to 4 drives. Again, 2 2.5-inch or 2 3.5-inch drives, and there's no provision anywhere else to install more. That could be limiting for some, but I suspect for most it's more than adequate. At the bottom there are 4 rubber feet and also a removable dust filter. So what do you think about this case? Personally, I believe it is a winner because it has a combination here of looks, excellent build quality, and lots of features. One thing that I adore about this case are the side panels. They are so simple to remove and install, a definite time saver. Now, some might have an issue with the power supply being at the top. If you have lots of fans installed, to be honest, that's not an issue. Also, keep in mind that it doesn't come with a 5¼ inch drive bay, and it's a little bit on the pricey side. But all things considered, it's definitely a 100% kick-ass product. Until next time, take care. Well, that's it, but I hope you enjoyed the review, and if you think this and other videos that I produce are great, please like them, share, and subscribe to the channel. Also, your comments are very welcome, and if you have any questions, let me know.